Corruption is a cause that afflicts many countries. It has become a major cause of concern throughout the world, but especially for developing and underdeveloped countries. Corruption is the reason why developmental efforts of government have not been largely successful. It is the duty of you and I to say no to corruption by joining the crusade. Good evening, a very warm welcome to you, and many thanks for joining us on today's edition of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
According to the United Nations, the International Day on Anti-Corruption aims to raise public awareness about the scourge of corruption and what people can do to fight it. The day has been observed annually on 9 December since the passage of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption on 31st October 2003. Kamila Gaby on today's edition of The Eagle will present to you highlights of activities marking the 2015 International Anti-Corruption Day, which took place at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center in Abuja. Also today, President Muhammadu Buhari has charged judicial officers to leave above board and support the efforts of its government aimed at fighting corruption in Nigeria. The president made the call while declaring open the 2015 All Nigerian Judges Conference at the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. And the Speaker of House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, has said that Nigeria requires the support of international community to facilitate the speedy recovery of our looted funds for national development. We will also bring you a recap of proceedings at the Federal High Court Ikoyi, Lagos, where the EFCC arraigned a former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Patrick Ziadeke Akpobolokemi, and 7 other staff of the agency. Please stay with us as Kamila Gaby brings you our first report. The report.
Acting Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has said that the Commission will leave no stone unturned in the effort to recover public funds that have been stolen in the guise of arms procurement in Nigeria. Magu, who stated that the Commission was on top of the ongoing investigations, added that all the culprits in the arms procurement scandal would be brought to justice. Speaking at the commemoration of the International Anti-Corruption Day, which has as theme Break the Corruption Chain, on Wednesday, December 9th at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, Abuja, he said corruption is like a chain whose effect impacts various aspects of the society, undermines democracy and the rule of law, distorts markets, erodes quality of life, leads to human rights violations, and fans the embers of terrorism and other threats to human society.
This theme underscores the reality that the prevalence of corruption is like a chain whose effects impact on various aspects of the society, undermines democracy and the rule of law, distort market, evade quality of life, erode quality of life, lead to human rights violations, and fans the embers of terrorism and other threats to human security. In my inaugural address upon my appointment as the acting chairman of the EFCC, I stress the fact that the Commission under my watch shall be guided in the discharge of our mandate by the fear of God, a patriotic desire to protect our national interests, as well as a desire to uphold the rule of law.
Magu, who said the Commission had resolved to break the corruption chain in a fair, accountable and transparent manner, also stated that the Commission had so far investigated a total of 1,881 cases within 2015 alone.
The EFCC stand with you in our resolve to break the chain of corruption. And this we promise to do in firm, fair, accountable, and transparent manner. In the course of the year 2015, the EFCC investigated over 2,000 cases, out of which 208 cases were filed in court, and this does not include the one we filed this week.
He also expressed gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari for creating an enabling environment for the Commission to carry out its mandate, adding that he would undertake institutional reforms to increase the Commission's capacity to fight corruption. He therefore urged civil service organizations, as well as other partners, to join hands with the Commission in the anti-corruption fight. Earlier, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, said corruption had disastrous impacts on development when funds meant for social amenities were diverted by public office holders for their personal use. Ban Ki-moon, who was represented at the occasion, added that corruption could exacerbate violence and insecurity. He said it is time to deliver a clear message around the world that rejects corruption and embrace the principles of transparency, accountability and good governance. The Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Joe Abba, also called for the enhancement of the Code of Conduct Bureau. He further stated that the newly introduced zero-based budgeting would ensure discipline in the implementation of budgets. Also, Lilian Eke-Anyau, representing the Technical Unit on Governance and Anti-Corruption Reforms, TUGA, urged the anti-corruption community to take advantage of the positive body language emanating from the presidency. The Deputy Chief Mission of the United States Embassy, Maria Brewer, in her remark, stated that corruption could undermine institutions and slow development of any nation. She said that the United States was ready to partner with Nigeria in the fight against corruption. This year's Anti-Corruption Day, which was organized by the Interagency Task Team IATT, the European Union EU, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime UNODC, started with a sensitization walk led by Acting Chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu. The long walk, which started from the head office of the Commission in Wuse-2, Abuja, ended at the venue of the event at Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center. Members of management and staff of the Commission were seen on the street carrying placards with strong messages against corruption such as "Kill corruption," "Break the corruption chain," and a mock coffin symbolizing the death of the scourge.
EFCC moving forward, hallelujah. We can kill corruption, hallelujah. We can kill corruption, hallelujah. We can kill corruption, hallelujah.
Thank you for staying with us. President Muhammadu Buhari has charged judicial officers to live above board and support the efforts of his government aimed at fighting corruption in Nigeria. The president made this call while declaring open to 2015 All Nigeria Judges Conference at the Judicial Institute in Abuja. Kamil Gebi once again has the rest of the story.
The All Nigeria Judges Conference took place on November 23, 2015 at the National Judicial Institute, Abuja. The three-day conference with the theme, "The Judiciary as a Veritable Instrument for Sustaining Democracy in Nigeria," is a biannual gathering where judges and various stakeholders converge to discuss issues and challenges in the dispensation of justice. Speaking through the Vice President, Yemi Osibanjo, SAN, Buhari underscored the crucial role of the judiciary and the constructive relationship between the judiciary, the executive and the legislature in salvaging our economy from the shackles of corruption.
In the crucial role of the judiciary as one of the great pillars of constitutional democracy and the ultimate arbiter on on constitutional and other potentially divisive issues. The need for a constructive relationship between the judiciary on the one hand, the executive and the legislative arms is therefore indisputable, especially given our common resolve to build a new Nigeria founded on the scrupulous adherence to the rule of law and the tenets of social justice and accountable leadership.
He described corruption as an egregious crime against humanity and explained that the judiciary has faced its peculiar challenges as regards funding, outdated rules and corruption. He urged the Nigerian judiciary to work assiduously and fight against the perception of corruption in the system. Earlier in his keynote address, the Chief Judge of Nigeria, Justice Mahmood Mohammed, called on representatives of all arms of government to support the judiciary and discharge their duties with equity and good conscience. He said the judiciary is the only independent institution in this democracy, and it has lived up to its description as the last hope of the common man.
The 2015 edition of All Nigeria Judges Conference is in keeping with the Institute's aim and providing qualitative, continuing education, continuing judicial education, and affords us an invaluable opportunity to collectively deliberate on issues affecting the judiciary of our dear nation. In line with the President, the conference has always been opened by even members of the executive branch of the federal government.
Members of the National Assembly, Acting Chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Controller General of Customs, President Court of Appeal, Controller General of Prison Service, and religious leaders were among dignitaries that witnessed the opening ceremony.
Thank you, Kamilu, for that report. And the trial of Aliyu Doma, a former Nasarawa State Governor, and other accused persons charged with him is progressing, with the prosecution witness Solomon Katsa, a former Director of Finance, telling the Federal High Court sitting in Lafia, Nasarawa, that the defendants did not at all times follow due process in the disbursement and withdrawal of security votes. Golden Agu has more.
Doma is standing trial alongside former Secretary to the State, Timothy Anjide, and Dauda Egwa, former Accountant General, on a 10-count charge bordering on money laundering and financial crimes preferred against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The accused persons allegedly between January 2007 and December 2009 conspired and fraudulently laundered state funds to the tune of 8 billion naira, an offence contrary to Section 14, subsection 1A of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2004 and punishable under Section 14(1) of the same Act. Answering questions on the cross-examination, Katsa stated, and I quote, "Special releases are referred to as undisclosed security payments because those payments were not made to them in the account department, and I don't know why it is so." End of quote. The witness went on that he was not privy to the deliberations and decisions of the Nasarawa State Security Council, and he did not know if the members of Nasarawa State Security Council were the only body responsible to know the specific security challenges that warranted special security disbursement. He said the release for special security disbursement are budgeted by the House of Assembly. According to him, he did not understand any implication of approval of security expenditure by Nasarawa House of Assembly, as all approval by the House are budget proposals submitted by ministries, agencies and departments. The former finance director further told the court that he had a duty to report the alleged breach by the secretary to the state government, as a result of which he said a verbal report about the release of funds was made to the Accountant General of the state, which was reflected in the annual report. While the cross-examination was going on, the defense team, led by Charles Edosawan, SAN, paused to seek for adjournment on two grounds. One, to enable the defense to procure the remaining documents as specified in the subpoena, in line with the promise of the officials of Nasarawa State to produce the remaining documents. And secondly, the defendants needed the documents to cross-examine the witness. Justice Okeke adjourned to February 8 to 11, 2016 for continuation of trial. Meanwhile, the court also granted the prayer of Aliyu Doma's counsel seeking the release of the former governor's international passport to enable him travel abroad for medicals. Golden Ago, reporting for the Eagle.
Thank you, Golden, for that report. It will be recalled that the Aliyu Doma case started in 2011 after the commission went off on several former governors alleged to have corruptly enriched themselves while they held sway as chief executives of their various states. Next on the program is a report on the prosecution of former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Patrick Ziade Akpobolokemi, and 7 other staff of the agency. Olufemi Adeyemi has the report. Over to you, Femi.
The former Director General, Patrick Ziade Akpobolokemi, and 7 other staff of the agency, including Captain Ezekiel Agaba, Executive Director, and their 2 companies, were arraigned before Justice Salihu Saidu of the Federal High Court, Lagos, on a 30-count charge bordering on conspiracy, fraudulent conversion of funds, and money laundering. The 7 other staff of the agency include Ekene Nwakuche, Felix Bob Nabena, Captain Waredi Enusuo, Governor Amiti Wan, Ugo Frederick, and Timi Alari. Their companies are Alkenzo Limited and Peniel Engineering Services Limited. The accused persons allegedly conspired to convert and launder several sums of money running into billions of naira under the guise of providing security intelligence around the maritime domain. A committee on intelligence was established by the agency under the watch of Akpobolokemi, with the second accused person, Captain Agaba, as chairman. The committee allegedly received a total sum of over 1 billion naira between December 2013 to July 2015. In disbursing the sum, the accused persons allegedly conspired and hired companies which investigation revealed were neither registered nor have requisite capacity to provide such services. Investigation further disclosed that most of the companies contracted were either nominated by the accused persons or are directly owned by them. After listening to the charge, the accused persons pleaded not guilty. Prosecuting counsel Rotimi Oyedepo prayed the court to remand the accused persons in prison and fix a date for trial. Counsels representing the accused persons: Joseph Umobike, SAN, for the first and fourth accused persons, Lanre Olayinka for the second and ninth accused persons, Pascal Made for the third accused person, C.A. Makwe for the fifth accused person, Kayode Omoya for the eighth accused, Ige Asemundara for the sixth accused, and E.O. Ogbebo for the seventh and 10th accused persons filed bail applications praying the court to admit their clients to bail. In opposing the bail application for the first accused person, Oyedepo filed a counter affidavit praying the court not to grant the defendant's application. He argued that the first defendant had jumped administrative bail granted to him by the commission. He further added that someone who could not honor administrative bail should not be trusted to honor bail granted by the court. Oyedepo also told the court to refuse the bail applications of all the other accused persons based on the severity of the proof of evidence before it. Justice Salihu, however, admitted the first accused person to bail in the sum of 100 million naira and 2 sureties. One of the sureties must have landed property in Lekki, Ikoyi, or Victoria Island. The other surety must be in either federal or state government employment, not below the rank of director. The other accused persons were granted bail in the sum of 50 million naira each, with 1 surety in like sum. One of the sureties must be in federal or state government employment not below level 16, and the other must have landed property within Lagos. Justice Salihu adjourned the case to January 29, 2016 for the commencement of trial and ordered that the accused persons be remanded in Ikoyi prison pending perfection of their bail terms. Olufemi Adeyemi, reporting for the Eagle.
If you're just joining us, the program is The Eagle, coming to you from the stables of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. You too can be part of this program by joining us on our social media platforms at Official EFCC on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And still on the program, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, has said that Nigeria requires the support of the international community to facilitate the speedy recovery of our asset for national development. The Speaker said this during the maiden meeting of the International Corruption Hunters Network at Transcorp Hilton in Abuja. Kamal Gebi once again is our guide.
Dogara also said that effective collaboration between the Nigerian anti-graft agencies and their foreign counterparts would aid other laudable actions of government in the fight against corruption. He lauded the leadership of the EFCC for taking advantage of the networking and knowledge transfer opportunities provided by the group to further strengthen its institutional processes. He urged the group to continually avail its members of emerging top-notch strategies and methods in the fight against corruption. Dogara spoke through the Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes, Kayode Oladele.
I congratulate the Nigerian Anti-Corruption Agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, for taking advantage of the networking and knowledge transfer opportunities provided by the ICHA to further strengthen their institutional processes.
Dogara further assured the group of the continuous support of the House in its quest to promote cross-border coordination and peer learning in the fight against corruption. He therefore urged the group to think out of the box and look at the deeper context of the fight against corruption by supporting anti-graft agencies in Africa to become more effective in preventing and prosecuting corrupt practices. Earlier, in his welcome address, the acting chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Mustapha Magu, hinged the success recorded so far by the Commission on the capacity of its workforce.
Over the years, the network has injected enormous value into the work of the EFCC, and we can only ask that it continues to work with us on our corruption problem, which has grown even more virulent since the formation of the network. The challenge of corruption is one that Nigeria, through the EFCC and other sister anti-corruption agencies, is determined to deal with.
Magu, who expressed gratitude to the group for choosing Abuja as the host of its first Sub-Saharan Africa meeting and the EFCC as the host agency, further said the Commission placed emphasis on the training and retraining of its staff to build competence and institute professionalism in its activities.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make money, Maga no need pay. Maga no need pay.
Thank you for being with us on the program. And on that note, we call it a date on today's edition of The Eagle. Please don't forget to send your feedback to the Eagle at efccnigeria.org. And if you have missed any part of this program or any of our previous activities, not to worry, just log on to youtube.com/official EFCC. You can also search for us on Google Plus at official EFCCNG@gmail.com. Don't forget to also like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC and follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. My name is Aisha Gambari, thanking you for watching, and God bless Nigeria.